Hello, I'm Ross Walmsley from RWA Creations. Today I'm going to show you how to assemble a TIE Pilot helmet. So basically finished like that. I've got them in stages to show you, save a bit of time. This one is acrylic capped, you can see the nice shine on it. This one is standard 2mm ABS. We'll buff up if you want it to, but it's, more of a dull look to it. So let's remove these out of the way for a minute. And I'll show you what you're going to get in the kit. Right, so with the kit, you're going to get a faceplate. You'll get your two sides. You get your cover strip, plus there'll be extra on it to make these little tabs. Get your two ears. Get your mohawk cover. You get your neck rubber. You'll have an option of either a flat green lens or bubbles. Close very kindly supplied me with bubble mold lenses, so I'm very close to getting these to be able to give us an option. You'll get your stickers for your crown. You'll get a little kit to make a pillbox for the back. You get your two little door card insert things for above the eyes. They'll come with little screws to attach from the back. You get your nice little aluminium greeblies, little code discs. Okay, so I will start with the trimming up of this one, so we'll get rid of bits that we don't want, because you don't want excess crap in the way. Right, let's start off with the sides. So I've pre-trimmed this one up. So what you can see, again, we've got about a 12mm parallel line around here, scooping in, very much the same as the X-Wing video we've done. This is where it changes at the front differently. We're going to come really tight into this because we want the faceplate to really come forward. So tight in there and then back out to the crease line down, following the mould line here. But here we're going to come back underneath, straight along that line there, and then we're going to come straight down in between. You'll see there's little dimples on these side plates here. There's three like holes where there's little sort of pits are. So you're going to go in between the back two and come straight down. And then from the bottom of that, you're going to come along with a scoop. There's a little nodule there. So we're going to keep about 25mm in front of that and sort of curve it down. So I'm going to mark this now on the other half. So again, we want about a 12mm. I'm not going to bother measuring because we don't want to waste time on stuff like that. Go straight down there, and again we're going to come straight down real tight into there. This is going to go in a minute, so I'll explain about that in a minute. Come right tight in there and finish off in the corner, and come down. Again here you see the detail very well here. We're going to come straight along this bottom line here. And see, there's a nodule there. See, there's three. I won't mark the back ones because I've taken the film off this one. There's two there, so I'm going to come straight down in between those last two. So a straight line, straight down there. Yeah, and then from the bottom of this detail, we're going to come along there. See the spot? About 25mm here. So we're going to come straight and then on a curve. This is all hidden by the ears, so don't panic too much. If you want to do it less and trim it later, it's up to you. So again, with my little Lexans, which is my preferred tool. You can do it with a Dremel if you want to be a bit more careful. So we're going to go all the way down this line here. Again, this is all hidden, so don't panic if it's not superb. This one is 2mm acrylic cap. You can see you've got a shine on it, which is a little bit more brittle than the standard ABS, so you've got to be really careful when you're turning corners that you don't get splits. So if in doubt, keep away a little bit and then finish it off with a sandpaper or a Dremel. Right, so we've got a big lump out of there. So again, as I've done before, I'm going to get close to it just in case I get any nasties, splits. We don't want it. So I want to peel it back slowly. That'll do me for that bit. Again, I'm taking this big chunk out, so I'm not going to get greedy and try and get it all in one hit. I go up, careful on the corners again. Away a little bit, working my way in. Nice and gentle. Again, do this with a Dremel with a cutting disc if you're unsure. Right, so that's that sorted. Here, straight up to this corner, flat round. Again, there's quite a bit of excess here, so I'm going to rough trim first, a little bit away. Now I'm going to bring it in. And remember here, I want to go nice and tight to that bit because I want that face. Right, so we've trimmed nice and tight in there, so tight to that, straight into the corner and straight down. Now I'm going to get my flap disc with my Dremel just to tidy that up a little bit. So one of these little flappers. This is a cutting wheel that you might want to use instead of the Lexans. My protective glasses so I don't get shards in my eye. Now again, I'm going to come really tight into that bit there. Now, I would do this all the way round carefully. I'm not going to waste your time with showing you how to use a flap disc on a Dremel. So, we'll pretend that I've done all that. Right, so now you want to do the faceplate. I'm not going to whine on about that neither because you can see that in one of my TK videos. But basically, don't cut the teeth out. Eyes, cut inside with the Dremel. So you can see the line there. So we're going to cut round here. Yeah, and then same with the flap disc. Just finish them off from the inside just nicely, leaving probably want to be about 3 or 4 mil return all the way around the eyes. Don't bother about the bottom here until you're starting to fit and everything. Make sure that's all right. On the sides, leave as much meat as possible, so literally straight down that outside line. Sometimes you might get a little crease in there. Don't remove that. Just leave it on. It'll be fine. So again, for this side, you know, as much as possible, get right down there. Don't. You want as much here as pos. So that's pretty much it for the faceplate. That's ready to go on once those eyes are out. So now I'm going to put these. No, I won't. I'll put the mohawk on this one. So for ease, I've done these little Velcro tabs to show for the video, so I haven't got to wait for glue to dry. On the X-Wing is a bit of fingers and thumb job because they don't hold as well. But you're going to do this with E6000, so you're going to bond these on and do what I'm doing with the Velcro properly and leave it overnight so that you can work on the next stage. So from the front, I'm going to go about 35mm back to my first tab. These tabs you'll just cut out of this mohawk strip, they're the same size, so just nip them off 25-30mm. These will set the lid up first, so it's easier to stick that on, otherwise it's a bit of a five-handed job. So again, this probably will be a bit of a hash watching me fart around with magnets and stuff, but you'll get the idea of what I'm doing. Right, so these will all be put in with the glue. One right at the bottom there. So roughly equal, doesn't really matter. They're just there just to support the lid. So glue them all in E6000, magnets or clamps, leave them overnight to set nice and hard, and then you'll get yourself a nice rigid lid. Make sure that it's sitting square and it's not on the flop, otherwise if it's a little bit wanky, it won't sit straight. This will have a curved bit to it and it won't sit in. So got to make sure this is sitting and set very nice. And I say definitely you make sure this first one is about 35mm back from the front. Okay, so with our plastic, I'm going to measure 35mm back, 35mm back, and that's where I want this to start, because we've got to remove this section to put the front piece on after we're glued up. Right, so we're going to start here. So E6000, this will all be glued up high and tight, so we can put a bit on there and run back probably about 5 or 6 inches. So I'm going to get my first magnet just to kind of get it started and hold in place. Going to pop her on there. Okay. So now I can sort of start working back. So as I work back, I'm going to go like one each side, and you'll just keep doing this as many as possible so you don't get any gaps. And then when we've got those first two done, you'll just see the finish of your E6000. So we're set up ready to go now. So now I will go down the whole, just 2 nice runs of it. Don't go crazy. Keep them away a bit from the edge so they don't all spurt out. Put some spots on these. So then I'm going to attach to my next tab now, so that I'm starting to bring round. Same again for the next one. And then same again for the last one. So you can see now that's all set up with the ruler stuck on it and everything. So when you've got that initially set, then you can just check that you're all sitting nice and level. This is why it's very important that your cap's all sitting right. And now I would add extra magnets, so I'd put 2, 2, 2, 2 all the way around. You can use some strong clamps in the bottom if you want to make sure that's really well clamped. And just make sure it's all sitting well. Same at the front, you can put a couple of clamps in there if you want. Set that aside 24 hours to go off and dry nicely. Don't forget to remove your plastic film. There's no plastic film on this one. I'm going to put this one over here now, out of the way. So now, here's one I made earlier. This is the 2mm standard ABS one. Plastic film is already on this still here, so that I won't peeling off, but I'll just leave it on for the minute. Right, so first thing, we've got to bend this underneath. So, to bend, I'm going to use a bit of plywood with a hole cut in it. This concentrates the flow of heat just through my crease line. Got to watch you don't overheat this or get too crazy with it. So I'm going to look where it's going to go and slowly heat it. Don't get too carried away because you'll blister the plastic. So you just want to just keep checking, make sure you're in the right place. Plastic's got to heat all the way through. Just keep checking it to see when it's starting to go. And there she goes. So I've got a little bit wild and it's got a little bit of bubbling, but that's probably just on the film. So we've bent that round here now. Now you want a bit of E6000 underneath these 2 spots. Clamp that off. Yeah. And then when that's dry, we can follow our curve line round from here. So I'm just going to curve that back in there. So again now with our Dremel, I'm going to use my little cutting disc. Special glasses. And I'm going to whip this out. Swap from the flap disc, clean it up. And that's all ready for the rubber trim later. So So that'll just sit all around there nicely. Right, now before we put the front on, we need to cut these fronts back out of the way. So now see where we glued our thing up earlier, we want to remove all of that from there, which was our sort of 30-35mm back, straight down to the front. So I'm going to cut that off there and just get rid of all of that, both sides. So straight up there. I'm going to do that with a cutting disc. Right, so let's remove that away now. Next stage, now we've got our faceplate. So we've trimmed the eyes out on that. So you can see how much I've left in there. Just like 3 or 4mm around, probably a bit more at the top. And now I'm going to set this up with magnets. So I'm going to pop that in there. Again, it's a bit of fingers and thumbs job, nice together. Someone to give you a hand to hold it. So I'm just going to pop a couple up there for the minute just to hold it in place. Should be probably about 30mm there. Use some tape on your magnets so that you don't scratch your lid. Right, so now we've got that kind of in place there, you need to check with your tiers at the side, just roughly centralise it. You want to be closer to this one than this one because of the central line. So I'm going to get probably that far away from that one here. That's probably about 3mm. So we're nice and happy with the front of that now. Now I'll probably put a magnet up there as well just to kind of like set it all up. So I'll use double pair up there just to kind of like clamp it on. And the same the other side. Right. So now I can make sure that I'm all sitting well. So again, I want to be slightly closer to this one. So I'm sitting central. The spots of these want to line up with the corners of that. Can you see that line there? So that line there points to there. See the other side? So we're all sitting pretty nice now for that. As I say, which gives you about, what we got there? It's about 35. So you want about 30, 35. Even them up a little bit. Go for 30. Just keep checking and looking. Make sure that you look, appearance-wise is what you want. Now I'm going to fix the brow now, so I'm going to want to get these in the kit. A couple of little brass screws, a couple of washers and a couple of nuts. So I want my 3mm drill for these. Now, these want to be roughly sort of 10, 11mm up, 10, 11mm in. If you're copying a specific kind of helmet, you want to check your reference. Sorry, I can't see around at the moment because I'm trying to stop the magnets from attracting my drill. So then put these on. Now this is a bit of a pain in the ass with the magnets there because the screwdriver wants to track to it all the time. So I'm just going to nip that up. Same the other side. Just nip that up, just don't over tighten these, the screwdrivers getting wild from my magnet. Right, so that's that side. So now, I've seen some people put a screw in the sides there and pull it in, but I haven't seen that on the original reference I've been using. So I'm doing a secret fixing in here. So basically, ears now for trimming. I've pre-trimmed one. So we want about 10mm there, and you can follow my mould line all the way around, and that's pretty much good to go. So again, this is how they come. So we're going to go 10mm around there. And then I say you can see the line there. So just literally just whip her off straight around there. And follow that curvature underneath. And just clean that bottom up. Just you know, they will go straight on. So now with these ears, they're going to sit on there. So you see your front, they're going to line up with the front of this piece there. They should sit nicely around there, and then just be on that little spot at the back. So I'm going to mark roughly where this one's going. So I'm going to want him around here. So I'm going to put a little rivet up inside there just to keep it from wandering around. You got to watch you don't drill your fingers out. You can just rely on your screws if you want. Right, so I'm going to put a rivet through, because then you're not relying on your magnets anymore. You're sort of I'm only going to show you one side of this because it's just a pointless exercise to show you both. Right, so that's got that now. So if I did the other side, I can take the rivets off. So now where this went before, what I want to do is get me a 3mm drill again. I'm going to use a hand countersink as well. So I'm going to drill a 3mm hole in there. A little bit of a countersink just to deburr the edge so that my screw sits nice and flush. I don't want it interfering with my code discs. You'll have some of these long stainless screws in the packet. So again, I can see my rough pencil line where I've been. So I'm going to line back up with that. Now I'm going to drill straight into there. Straight through. Pop that straight through there. And again, we're going to pop that in there. Don't over tighten, we don't want no cracking. So that's that ear sorted. Now you can now get your Dremel. See when the other side's on, say, get your Dremel and clean up all this just nicely so that's all flowing around good. Same with the back. Underneath there, I'm going to blob a little bit of E6000 under that bit. Same with that bit, a little bit of E6000. And then probably use a couple of little clamps. Again, just overnight, just clamp them on there and there, just to kind of keep that, you know, all bonded up as one. So that's that sorted. Your neck rubber can then go around in two pieces. So pop your front round first nice and tight, cut it about 5-10mm longer so you squeeze it on. Same again for the back, pop it around there. So that finishes the bottom of the lid off nicely. You've got your code discs. So they just bob more E6000 there with a little slot up. Sorted. Okay, so that's that and that done. I think we'll do the pillbox next. So pillbox comes in two pieces like this. You need to cut the white top like that, just to make the little lid. So you can spend as much time as you want on a little mini project. The bottom, that wants to be about sort of 6mm thick, and then that should just sit together nicely. And then it just attaches onto the back. Now, because I've only just started doing this, I completely forgot which way up it goes, and I completely forgot how far up it goes. So we'll check some reference of that later. Right, we've got the mohawk. So for trimming for this is going to come as a big lump like that. Easiest way to get this out is get your Stanley knife and run straight down the crease carefully, both sides, from there to there. Just keep running down until you feel it going through, just take your time. And then round the front, most of this can be done with the Dremel. So you can see where I've cut. So get your Dremel cutting disc, cut along, up, down, all the way around there. And then see these bits, to get it off, you're gonna do the same again. So you're gonna go inside and you're gonna score and then snap that off like that. That'll come away in one piece, and then you can clean it up with a pair of Lexans, and that's good for like your initial sort of trim. Clean it up with a flat disc sandpaper. So this is why we cut this back, to now allow this to fit. So basically that is now going to sit on there, and you're going to want to just keep farting around with it. I'll probably take a little bit more off that front, just so that it allows it to sit nicely. And again there, with magnets, magnet to keep that on from inside. So that's that sorted. Make sure you leave these bits on, because they're there to take these. So you'll have one of those either side. So when that's all glued up and gone off, you'll fix these on. So you need to drill a small pilot hole through there, right the way through the lid, and then you'll get two of these little tiny screws, and then you'll fix those from the inside, screw straight into that hole, and that'll pull that in nice there. And they're just decorative, so not taking any load. Bubble lenses, you've got the bubbles, and just glue them in from the inside, so they can just pop in there. Or if you've got your standard lens from the inside, again, you can just fix that in there. What else have we got? Oh, we've got the cogs as well. So again, check your reference, but these stick on, you know, sort of 10mm out, 15mm out roughly. But I say some of them are slightly different, so check your reference first. With these stickers, as usual, pull off the backing to leave the sticker onto the thin part. Line it up and work it out from the middle. And you probably want to use a gentle, like a hairdryer, or very gently on the heat gun, so that you don't get creases when you're putting it. So just keep working it out real gently and slight heat, because if you too much heat and it'll all crinkle and go bad. So just gently roll that on. So one of them on each side. Then that's about it. So sorted. Okay, cheers. Remember to subscribe to my channel and keep an eye on my stuff. Right, cheers, bye.